So it's been a while since we've actually done a video for Alan, and there's many reasons for that. One, I got quite ill last year and ended up in hospital for some significant time, and then it really took the wind out of my sails, and all the adventures that we planned in Alan last year didn't really happen. But good news is I'm feeling a lot better. I'm getting back to fitness. So what's next? Well, there's quite a bit to work to do still. You've seen the inside, you've seen the pop-top roof, and it's worked brilliantly. We did a fantastic trip of 2 weeks around the UK, from Northumberland down to North Norfolk to Suffolk, across to Worcestershire, Warwickshire, back up to the Lake District, and then back up here to home in Aberdeenshire. And it was an absolutely fantastic trip during the heat wave. But it was fantastic being in Alan, and he behaved himself. But we need to do some work now, because a couple of winters in Aberdeenshire with the amount of salt on the road up here, like all Land Rovers, it's already started to take its toll. So what's next? Really, side steps. I'll show you them in a moment, but they really need some work. So they need to come off, and whether I'm going to replace them or try to refurbish them, I'm not quite sure yet. Let's have a look at them. So Alan's got the standard Land Rover Defender 110 steps on it, actually a Land Rover product themselves. But he also has the standard Land Rover Defender 110 step rust and corrosion. As you can see, it's really quite bad, but that's not unusual for the Defender steps from Land Rover. They all go like this. So extra worse up here because of the amount of salt that's on the road during the winter. But we had quite a severe winter from recent years, and there was a lot of salt on the road. And I use Alan all year. You see more, and I use him all year round. And then during the winter, he's out and about on a lot of fields and stuff like that. So it gets quite a lot of mud, etc. The mud flaps as well, standard corrosion on the mud flaps. So kind of need to do something about this, but I'm not sure what to do yet. They're going to come off. Whether I can actually get them rubbed down and resprayed, I'm not quite sure. I'll have a look once they're off, but they do need to come off. It's just annoying me how they look. And the other side is no better, to be honest. Some other bits that might need doing soon as well is the rear quarter. Let's just have a wander around there. So you can see a little bit of corrosion starting now on the rear quarter. It's not too bad in Land Rover terms, but again, it needs to be looked at before it gets any worse and before we start this season. So again, I think this is just a case of rubbing down and giving it another coat of satin paint once it's got some decent primer on it. The underneath is not too bad. Some rust starting to show through. It's been wax oiled, but I'd like to get that sorted and maybe get the wax oil off, get something better on there. If you've got any good ideas, give me some suggestions in the comments. I've seen lots of options, but I don't know which one's best. So as you can see, a few things to be done. I've also got a Wolf Box rear view mirror to go in. I've had it since last year. I was waiting for a good couple of days because I need to take the interior out, or some of the trim that's been fitted, to get the wiring in. It's not totally essential. It's just a case of sometimes on campsites or when you're close in, if it ever gets to go shopping, which is one of the worst times in a 110, is to get this rear view camera in. I'll take you inside and we can have a look at the Wolf Box itself. So this is the Wolf Box G900 Pro. As you can see, it's a rear view mirror camera. So this replaces obviously your normal rear view mirror. It's quite big, and for that reason, actually mounting it on the windscreen on the normal mirror mounts, once you remove your normal mirror, it takes up a lot of space. So it actually takes up quite a bit of the windscreen, which I didn't think was particularly safe. So I went to SC Engineering, and they have this mount which is Cerakoted. It's very nice, and you buy the universal adapter from Wolf Box, and you can then mount it, and it mounts a lot higher up. You see those 3 holes, that's the normal mounting, and so it doesn't get in the way. So I've been had this on the bench for probably nigh on a year, I think, just getting round to fitting it. The 110 I find sometimes quite difficult to judge. When you need to get really close in up against the wall or something like that, I know you can reverse back until the tow bar hits, or mine, I've actually got a step from when the roof rack was on, and I have actually touched that before. But I'd rather have a mirror that I can see, particularly if there's kind of people behind you or in campsites or something like that. So that's why I've got this. And it's just going to take a little bit of wiring. What I did was I bought this kit as well, which is from the Land Rover Centre. It's a piggyback onto the cigarette lighter, so the 12-volt ignition live. So you get an extra couple of connections from it. And that's what I'm going to wire the power in. Just got to work out how to get that round. I think I had a look last time before I got ill and meant taking the speaker out, and it looks like I can actually feed it down through the side of the windscreen. You'll see this mess here is the power lead. Excuse that, but I've had it all undone. So normally you could just plug it straight into your cigarette lighter, your 12-volt ignition live, but I don't want the wires actually sitting out. I've got something else in there at the moment. I've got USB sockets in there. So my plan is just to remove this, and there is sufficient wire here to give us an ignition live. The camera is bundled up in amongst this. So here's the rear view camera itself. Comes with a couple of different brackets for mounting. They actually give you, I'll show you, some sticky pads, so you don't actually have to drill holes to mount it. I'll see how successful that is. But I will have to drill a hole, obviously, to get the wire through for the camera. Hence why they give you a nice plug here, so that you can just drill a minimal size hole for this. Probably it looks about about 5mm, and then thread it through and get it connected. So I shall make another video once I start the fitting, and we'll take it from there. So that's the update for now, and I apologise again for not getting too much out on the channel over the last year, but for the circumstances that I've talked about, it's been really difficult. But I mean to change that now. Big news for me this year is that I've now retired as well, so hopefully get a lot more time for content. So thank you very much for subscribing, those people that have placed a little bit of trust in me and added subscriptions even though there hasn't been a new video. So thanks very much, and we will see you soon.